Punk Revolution now! Today we are going to be interviewing Floral Tattoo. Floral Tattoo, you should definitely check them out if you haven't listened to them already. They released one of my favorite albums of the year. So far, You Can Never Have a Long Enough Head Start. Fantastic album, emo, shoegaze, amazing, very inspirational, very ambitious, very cool stuff. And they are here to be interviewed by Punk Revolution now. This is the first interview I've ever done on my YouTube channel, so I'm very excited it is with Floral Tattoo, because I'm interviewing a band that released an album I actually really liked, instead of a band I gave a 6 out of 10 or something. So, Floral Tattoo, why don't you go ahead and tell me about your album, You Can Never Have a Long Enough Head Start, the process of kind of putting this album together. Really cool stuff. I read on Bandcamp, I think it seemed like most of it was put together at Alex's place. I don't know, I'm just curious about the recording process. It's kind of a lo-fi release, but I think it sounds really cool, so I'm kind of curious about the background of getting this album together.
Yeah, so a lot of the recording process was largely a reaction to, or the general the way that we put this record together was a reaction to the way that we had kind of done things before in DIY. Because the first record we did, Approaching Bearable, we recorded it in 2 days at a house of a friend of the band.
Yeah, was
who
it
is
just
also a recording engineer.
Was it like 10 hours a day? Like
yeah, we recorded it as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
It was incredibly rough. It didn't turn out exactly the way we wanted it to. And
hey, like 2 of those songs sound good.
But
okay, good point.
Wasn't there like one of the I've only listened to your first album like a couple times. I'm like honestly mostly just like really hooked on your newest one. But wasn't there like one of the songs off your first record that just got like a ton of streams on Spotify or something? What was up with that?
Your mortal enemy Anthony Fantano did a short review of it, and he gave it like a glowing review.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Yeah, it was like the only song on that episode he liked, which really worked out for us.
That's amazing. You know what's really funny is because that's awesome. Died went through the exact same thing with like Anonymized Internal Criminals, our EP we released back in 2018. Exact same thing. Like one of our songs off our EP, honestly, not even probably my least favorite song on the EP. He ended up reviewing and like saying a bunch of good shit, and it was just like, okay, well, I guess that's our hit now. Even though like, whatever.
And then what happens after that is that you have enough people listening to it on streaming services that it enters the algorithm.
Yeah. So
everything starts to get infected with your music.
Yeah, you beat the algorithm. That's the magic. That's the secret. So in your newest album, You Can Never Have a Long Enough Head Start, what was like the main difference between like the recording of this album compared to your first one?
We took our goddamn time.
We took our time.
Yeah. That makes a difference. And you had like a ton of instruments too, didn't you? Like bells and like all sorts of weird little things I hear, right? Or am I just imagining that?
The bells had our friend Jordan, who is in this wonderful folk punk band called Smuggling Croissants, play bells on the record. And at that point, I want to say the recording for like anything that wasn't drums took place from mid-February to the end of May of 2019.
Cool.
And
it could have been done quicker if we would have not gotten carried away with overdubs.
Yeah, it would have been done a lot quicker if we had controlled ourselves, but we didn't. And you know what? I think that kind of, I think it lent some charm to the record.
Yeah, I mean that's gotta be the appeal of like the shoegazy stuff. You know, you gotta have like layers and layers of different crazy stuff to make the textures.
At one point,
Yeah.
At one point, we were just considering calling it on 8-track because that was how many tracks of guitars we had recorded for one song. Tracks of different, like, unique guitar that were all intensely noisy. I think we ended up having to cut some of those on that song. That was on Life in Color in particular, that we had that many. And the way that we recorded guitars, specifically, each guitar track was actually 2 separate tracks.
Didn't that end up not being a thing?
No,
Like-
pretty sure it ended up being. I don't know. I don't know what happened
I'm
with the
pretty
mix
sure-
of this record.
Sounds like there's a lot of mystery
Like,
over what you ended up actually recording with this record. I heard that when you played with Dogleg and Glass Beach. So which band was more annoying? Which band had less fun, more annoying band members that you hated more?
I feel like we were the annoying band at that show.
If I had to pick one, probably Dogleg because Chase beat me at Smash.
Wow, that's
True.
pretty cool though.
Chase is way too
Everyone-
good at Smash.
Chase beat everyone at Smash.
I think
They're
I've
all lovely
seen.
people.
Yeah, I think I've seen them on Twitter, like making like Smash references and stuff. So that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah,
really.
Their record
they were
is
like,
called Melee.
That's
so
right.
good.
There we go. That's the connection. How did I miss that?
but yeah, they were like, I think their deal was if you can beat Chase at Smash, you get free merch, and
Yeah.
I remember asking, and I don't think they've ever had to give away free merch.
Wow, that's intense. I don't know how I feel about that. That's kind of weird, but good album. They're good band. I mean, that's actually a really cool show to play though. With Dogleg and Glass Beach and Floral Tattoo. Those are
Oh
like,
my god!
you know, those 3 bands, especially Floral Tattoo.
And Marbits.
Yeah,
Marbits
Oh.
played. I fucking love Marbits.
I haven't listened to them. I'll
They
check them
are
out.
very- I will send
Local trans ukulele songs is great.
That sounds really
very
dope.
cute, very cozy.
That sounds sick. Cool.
Yes.
And that was before
Um,
Dogleg released their album too. So it was like you got to see like Dogleg. Right? That was before they released their album, was it? I think.
Yeah, that was before Melee came out.
think- Yeah, I think the first single had come out, but
yeah,
the
Flock
album
was
was
out.
Oh yeah.
I think Kawasaki Backflip might have. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That gets played in Hot Topic now sometime.
I think
That's
it is. I think like that doesn't surprise me at all. Like, cause I don't really know too many Hot Topic bands that are around today. You know, like are they still replaying like My Chemical Romance, or like are they trying to branch out? You know.
Gwen, I don't know about you. Just trying to get our record played in the Lego store. I think that would be good.
That'd be sick.
Yes,
I can see that
think
happening. I want to hear like some like emo,
Lego games?
like depressing spoken word, like playing about like just like anxiety and growing up and like depression.
Oh, if you want to hear some emo spoken word,
Yeah, yeah. Walk into the Lego store, start reflecting on life and like the world collapsing around you. So perfect. I love it. So,
Incredible.
that brings me to another question I actually have. So, I did listen to your first album, and I actually did hear some of that punk influence come into. I thought that was really cool, and like even though maybe your latest album isn't like I wouldn't necessarily like punk isn't the first genre that comes to mind. Like there's definitely the influence there still. I also am picking up in the lyrics like, so I really liked a lot of the lyrics. I would say the lyrics, in my opinion, like I would describe them as like there's both a personal element to it, with like lyrics about like maybe like growing up and anxiety and gender identity and like the more personal elements, but I'm also picking up some pretty like political lyrics as well, I would say. Like I'm picking up some like critiques of like the system, I guess you could say. Would you describe your music or your band as a political band?
Maybe? I don't know.
I think
I feel you go, Gwen. I feel like most of that is coming out in your songs anyway. So
well, I mean on the first record that's entirely your songs except for one of them.
yeah, the first record is far less political. I don't know.
I feel like there's just something to be said about the inherent, I don't know, the political act that is existing while trans, I guess. And a lot of our music is simply about existing while transgender and being very angry. And so, like, I guess it is political by proxy, but only because us and the people around us, just in, DIY in general, like, it's mostly marginalized people
Yeah,
at this point.
yeah,
Like,
that's for sure true.
it
Same
used
in
to
New
be
York.
a much DIY used to be much more of a sausage fest, and while it's not like as much of a thing anymore, it's getting better. Like, it still exists, but it's getting better,
Hmm.
and we're trying to reflect that, I guess. I don't know. We're just trans people trying to exist in a world that hates us.
Yeah, that
And
makes sense for sure.
in order to do that, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's
Sorry, my
cool.
brain's stalling.
Yeah, no, that's
I'm not like at peace right now.
yeah. I think it's a really like kind of like it's a really kind of like complicated kind of like concept, I think, but I think your album like really makes it so clear that even though a lot of the themes you're talking about sound very personal, like the bottom line is like there is something inherently political to it, and that's what I really love about the lyrics in the album is that it bridges the gap so well, um, and I don't know, just like some of my favorite lyrics I've heard this year. So I was just kind of curious, like if that was something that was like intentional going in, or if that's just kind of how it fell together because that's just how it kind of is. So I don't know, pretty cool stuff.
I mean, I don't
Say
think.
on my end,
Oops,
the
sorry.
latter.
Yeah.
Oh, I was just gonna say that in just speaking for my songs, I feel like they're all just kind of a reflection of who I am and what I'm going through and thinking about at the time. And um, I never like set out to be like, oh, this is going to be a political song. It just kind of happens
Hmm.
if and when it happens.
Yeah, I think that's kind of just like
Yeah.
the nature of making punk music, really. Cause like I think like I don't know what it is like about punk that draws like marginalized people to the scene. I think it's a great thing. I'm glad that like you said the DIY scene's like getting better and better like that. Um,
Well, it's entrenched in the ideology in the idea of DIY ethos that anyone can do this sort of thing. That it doesn't have to be, you know, people who are signed to labels. It can be anyone making punk music. That's the whole point.
yeah, exactly, for sure. And
I will
go
I
ahead.
will also reject that what am I? I would also like to interject that it's important to note that this is three white people talking about DIY not being as much of a homogenous scene used to be. And while I think there's always progress being made, I think it's important to note that. And
Oh yeah,
yeah,
there's definite room for improvement.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, definitely, and like I see, Floral Tattoo being very vocal about that stuff, like on your social media pages and everywhere, and like I think that's great to see. So, but I think that's definitely a good thing to call out. Is like that's great. Great point.
We try our best.
Yeah, we just gotta do what we can do. Um, anyways, okay, so let's go on to a little bit less of a tricky topic, which is, do you believe in God? Yes or no?
Whoa.
No, probably not.
Probably not. Okay, good. Sounds good. What about you,
I don't
Alex?
know.
I've taken mushrooms times to think that there's nothing. That's my
Yeah.
that's my answer.
Yeah. So, what? Tell me about like the biggest and best moments for your band since you've released this album. Like I saw you got a Pitchfork review, which was really dope. It was like a positive review. Like you've played some. I'm sure you've played a lot of cool shows. I know there's also the quarantine thing though that kind of also probably has made the album like release stuff maybe a little bit complicated too. I'm just curious. Like tell me about like the album release and how that's gone.
It it felt like just kind of a deluge, like almost immediately and non-stopped cool stuff that we didn't think was gonna happen started happening. And
Yeah.
honestly, kind of the first thing that wasn't just like people liking it on Rate Your Music was your review of it. So thanks for that.
That was the
But yeah, it
that was
was
that was the start of it all. You wouldn't be you know,
yes,
you wouldn't be anywhere without me.
exactly.
So,
Yes.
you know.
I definitely attribute all of our success to Punk Revolution.
That's great.
Whenever anyone.
Good. And I attribute all my
Oh.
YouTube success to that review too. So
Sweet.
yeah. Good work.
Yeah. But as far as like shows, I will say that that Glass Beach Dogleg Marbits show was probably the best show I've ever played in my life.
Yeah, that show was incredible. It wasn't just in the performances. Like, there was an energy to that show. People were really excited.
Yeah.
You had all these, like, I don't know, it was a weird atmosphere. Like, you
But
had,
like good weird.
yeah, good weird. Like, you had a bunch of local DIY people, but in the same breath, you had, like, these weird, like, yeah, local DIY people, but, like, Rate Your Music nerds in the pit.
Yep.
Pit full of Rate Your Music nerds. It was kind of badass.
Yeah, I could visualize it. It's kind of
You have all,
that might be like the most like legendary like Rate Your Music show like in years. Okay, like
a bunch of rim bands playing a show together. It, yeah, checks out.
The only thing that would have made it more epic would be like if like Bernie Sanders was there and like John Cena was like dancing or something. I don't know, but it's pretty
That would
epic.
have been good.
Oh yeah, so then the Pitchfork review that like that must have been pretty epic.
That was surreal.
Yeah,
that's
that was
real.
pretty cool. That was weird to wake up to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But would you say Rate Your Music was probably the like kind of like the first place it got rolling, or was there just kind of like other stuff behind the scenes with like band managers or whatever I don't even know about?
Oh, we're not behind
It's
anything.
funny
We
that you
don't
think
have
we have
any.
a manager.
We don't have any management team. We don't. Who? It's literally just the five of us.
That's dope.
Yeah. I mean, we would probably. I don't know. I feel like if we did have a manager, I don't know.
It wouldn't.
I don't think any of us are really qualified to navigate any of this, but
also like.
Yeah, I think that's a good.
Also, I wouldn't want it any other way.
Yeah.
Is the thing.
So it sounds like really it's just kind of like the magic of the music. The music was that good that it lit a fire that spread.
Personally, I think there are three things that made this album more successful than it would have been otherwise. One, we beat the algorithm. That helped. Two, Gwen has a lot of friends on Rate Your Music. That definitely helped. And three, it was like one of the first albums that was released this year, and that helped as well.
All right,
yeah,
everyone, write that down. That is the formula to being a successful indie band. So that's actually pretty cool though. I honestly do. I will say though, like I don't think it would have worked out if the music wasn't good too. So the music is like really unique. Like you don't hear too many bands doing like the like shoegaze emo combination with like I don't know. I'm just hearing like all sorts of like really cool influences. Like sometimes I feel like I'm listening to like Galaxy 500 and like just I don't know. It's nice and the lyrics too. Like it's all around like really solid. So. You know, the internet, you know, it's powerful and crazy, and the algorithms like determine our lives now. But the music also helped for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah. So.
Thanks.
And then of course my review, which you know, that's probably that's the fourth one you missed. But
yes, number 4.
And also lie that you sampled or that you interpolated War Pigs on it.
Yes.
There is no War Pigs.
Really?
Grant,
I
I'm
knew
so-
it. I fucking knew it.
On that.
I knew it. I listened and I was like, you know, like this sounds very vaguely like Black Sabbath, but I'm not hearing Warpigs at all. And then like Ian Cohen like tweeted about it, like, whoa, Floral Tattoo. What kind of crazy band is this with the Black Sabbath? Like, okay, that didn't happen. That's amazing.
yeah.
Do you want it?
I can reveal the secret.
Please do.
Okay.
So when like last day of recording, we just started recording fucking bullshit tracks onto the record because we were like, fuck it. We've already recorded so many overdubs for this thing. What's a few joke ones? So Alex played a really, really shitty rendition of War Pigs, like holding an acoustic guitar out like this into the microphone, and it was so quietly like the recording was so quiet that you could not even, like, on the bass recording you couldn't even hear it, like just like without the extra layers of noise that song has. It was just like, if we were to blow it up, it would sound like a lowercase music record or some shit like that, or like some micro sound album or micro house album. But it was just the shittiest, quietest possible little War Pigs riff that might have been edited out in the mixing process. We don't know.
I hope not. I can't. I don't know.
It's probably not on there because one of the many people we handed this album to probably saw that and was like, "What the fuck is this?" and threw it away. But
Wait,
That's amazing. That's
what do you mean?
That's the best thing. That you should have told me that before, because I would have bumped your album review rating up to like a 10. That would have been my first one and only 10 on my channel ever, if you would have told me that. But I'm glad I know now.
See,
I was just playing the long con. I'm sorry.
Personally, I would have been happy taking that secret to the grave. But
I already
once I
revealed
hear-
it on Genius like a month ago.
Yeah.
Because I thought, okay, now it's time to like feed this somewhere, and it's not. I can't post this on the Floral Tattoo account right now.
Yeah.
I haven't been making silly tweets there recently.
Well,
Yeah.
don't you worry. I'm going to make sure every single person at Pitchfork and every single person on every record label knows your band is a fucking fraud, and and not to trust you. So
we're gonna be the one emo band that Pitchfork reviews a second time and gives a lower score to.
yeah. It's gonna be on the front page of Pitchfork with a big statement that says like, "We're sorry, we were wrong about this album."
Floral Tattoo, liars.
Yeah. So, what is the future of Floral Tattoo, or just you as musicians in general with solo projects? Like, what's on the radar right now?
Well, Alex, I'll let you decide how far you want to pull back the curtain on this one. But for me in particular, I'm doing a solo record that I'm still putting the finishing touches on. I'll probably finish recording it after I move. It's music. I don't know how to describe it.
Once quarantine started, I started getting into the home recording and started working on this post-rock-ish project that at first I thought was just going to be like something I put out for fun, but then it like started being good, and I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna get everyone else in the band to play on this, and it'll be a Floral Tattoo thing. So that's what we're working on right now.
That sounds fucking sick.
It'll be an EP. It's only like 25 minutes long. But
That's dope.
yeah.
All right.
So yeah, we're doing an EP next, and then I've got about like 8 songs that I'm working on for.
Oh, that's good.
LP.
Nice.
Hey, that's good to know.
I thought I told you that I had a bunch of lyrics.
You did. I didn't know that it was 8. That's
At least 8. A few that I think that like a few other than that need to be kind of reworked, I think. But I'm getting
Thank
a lot. Quarantine has made me do lyrics more. I've been writing all sorts of lyrics, all sorts of edgy shit. I'm embracing my. I've dyed my hair 2 ways. I'm embracing my position as Shadow the Hedgehog of DIY. All there is to say on the matter.
All right. That's I think that's all. I think that's the only thing I'm gonna upload on YouTube is you saying that. Is that you're the Shadow the Hedgehog of DIY, and I'm just gonna title the
Perfect.
video Shadow the Hedgehog of DIY and just cut everything else out of the YouTube out of the interview, because that's what I need people to
Can-
see.
You know, we don't have a bio on Spotify yet. I think that should probably just be what we put there.
Yeah, I think that was my last question, and you butchered it. So, way to
So
go.
sorry.
This is gonna be the interview that destroyed any chance you had of anyone taking your music seriously ever again. But
Finally.
This is, yeah, I'll be looking forward to, you said it already, the fader hit piece.
Yeah.
This will be the material for that.
yeah,
I'll be looking forward to breaking up and not having a band to come back to after this interview.
I officially announced that you can never have a long of a head start is actually a 0.5. I'm cutting it
Right,
out.
perfect.
I'm gonna go ahead and just delete my initial review. I don't want people to see that. But I guess I'll upload this video or whatever remains of this interview that I'm gonna upload, including my announcement that it's actually 0.5.
Incredible. I'm glad that this interview went so poorly that you went from at the beginning saying that it was your favorite album of the year to now saying that it's a 0.5. I think that's a real accomplishment.
Yeah, we've really made a train wreck out of. Well, it was more me and less you, Alex. I kind of made this whole interview into a train wreck, didn't I?
Oh no.
Oh,
Alex,
no, it's beautiful. It's great.
Alex played a role too. Okay, I'm not gonna say whatever. It's just the whole band.
It's tainted.
I'm never gonna be able to listen to the album
Tom
ever
and
again.
Nick and Jake aren't even here, and they fucked it up too.
Yeah, I just don't even like their names. Just
Oh
kidding.
my god.
I'm just kidding. I don't know them.
Harsh.
Now I see why you were.
This is great.
Okay, yeah. Let's just finish this. We're done here. This has just gone so off
Oh.
track. Like
You gotta keep that all in. I'm gonna be so bummed if you don't keep that all in.
I'm. Don't worry.
Sweet.
Okay, so before we go, is there anything that either of you two or anyone wants to plug? Either solo projects, streams, follow you on Twitter, whatever. I don't know.
I would say if you don't follow us on Twitter, do that already. We used to be funny, but then the world fell apart and it doesn't feel appropriate to be funny on Twitter right now. Well, okay, let me rephrase that. Gwen used to be funny. She runs the Twitter for the most part. I just get on there to plug stuff sometimes. But don't give us any of your money. There's plenty of places that it could do more good right now.
Yeah. Donate to your local bail funds. Black Trans Protesters Emergency Fund is an important one of those. I put a link to that in the chat. Whole bunch of important organizations and frontline people you need to be donating to right now. I try and do my best to donate retweet as many donation links as humanly possible and donate when I can. I try and do that on the Floral Tattoo account as much as possible. So if you aren't following that and need more donation links to donate to, that's a place you can find some.
Cool. Sounds good. I'll link your Twitter in the description. I'll also link the bail funds that you were referring to. Did you say you were gonna send it in the group chat, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'll link that in the description. So
Yeah.
so take a look in the description. And don't spend your money on us three jackasses on the internet.
Please.
So
There things to spend money on right now. It's a pandemic, and there's a social movement,
Yeah.
a huge social movement going on right now.
Exactly. I agree entirely. Yeah, definitely really hope that someday in the not too distant future we can meet in real life, maybe play a show together, whatever. I don't know. I want to see
That would
I would love that so much.
So, yeah, nice chatting. Have a
Fuck
good
yeah.
rest of your Sunday. And
You.
peace.
You
This
too.
was great. Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Oh, can we all say it together? Can we all sign off?
Sure.
I need to say it. Okay.
All right, fine.
On 3. 1, 2, 3. Punk. Revolution.
Punk revolution. All right, that's.
I hope you know that was with love.